Hello teaching team, my name is Jocelyn Lee. Today I'll be presenting the key findings of Balanced Scorecard Report for University YMCA. University YMCA is a student-run nonprofit organization that operates across Singapore's leading universities. It was founded in 2005 with a mission to develop and empower youth to be servant leaders. It is run by students through volunteer programs and leadership training for young people to learn leading with empathy and purpose. However, UniY faces a challenge. We can see a complete performance by using output and outcome measurements. UniY regularly tracks output such as the numbers of events held. These figures look impressive, but they don't tell whether the activity actually made a difference. Let's say UniY recruits 100 new volunteers this semester. That's an output. But what if most of those volunteers never develop leadership or communication skills? Then the organization is not necessarily effective. This is why the balanced scorecard helps achieve. The Balanced Scorecard created by Kaplan and Norton is a strategy management tool that converts an organization mission into measurable goals across financial, client, international process, and learning and growth. Now that we understand why UniY needs the BSC, we then use lead and lag indicators to measure outcomes while managing the factors that cause them. Let's look at how it works in practice. First, the financial perspective. UniY financial goal is to operate within the budget provided by YMCA. Since it already receives sufficient funding, raising extra funds is not a priority. To measure this, we can see whether UniY achieved at least 75% of its budget targets and a 10% annual reduction in overhead costs. By reducing costs, UniY can redirect funds toward community programs and volunteer development without overspending. Last, the client perspective. This perspective looks at how effectively UniY creates a social impact. The goal is to deliver meaningful programs, especially for underprivileged groups locally and internationally. We measure this through the number of new program beneficiaries and the number of community programs offered. These measures show how well UniY is expanding its social footprint and staying true to its mission. Now, the internal business process perspective. While UniY volunteer management system tracks hours, but it doesn't evaluate program quality. To strengthen this, we introduce the indicator below. This guarantees that every initiative is consistent and delivers a positive experience for both volunteers and beneficiaries. Finally, the learning and growth. This perspective focuses on developing the skills and motivation of volunteers, since they are the driving force behind every activity. The aim is to strengthen operational capabilities and servant leadership qualities. To measure this, we use a volunteer surface increase by 20% annually and the lead indicator, the rate of volunteer participation. Learning and growth stand out the most important dimension. When UniY invests in its volunteers, every other perspective improves. Internal process becomes smoother, client satisfaction increases, and financial efficiency follows. To strengthen this, we added an additional objective, improving volunteer satisfaction. When they feel recognized and supported, they are more motivated to deliver quality programs. As a result, UniY builds a positive culture that encourages long-term commitment and continuous growth for the community. Designing the BSc is only the first step. Its real value lies in how effectively UniY implement it across the organization. The BSc should be communicated to all executive, communities, and volunteers, so everyone understands how their daily action contribute to UniY mission. Then, routine performance reports should be generated to track key targets such as increasing new beneficiaries by 10% each year. Data from digital survey can then be analyzed to assess progress and identify areas for improvement. To ensure accountability, each organization committee can have its own mini scorecard, encouraging teams to focus on outcomes rather than activities. Additionally, UniY can use the BSc to monitor leadership development by tracking volunteer participation in training and how many progress into leadership roles. This ensures training programs are not symbolic, but strategically linked to real organization outcomes. Finally, by combining quantitative data with qualitative feedback, such as volunteer reflection on empathy, adaptability, and teamwork, UniY BSc captures the true spirit of servant leadership. In conclusion, the balanced scorecard helps UniY turn its mission into achievable outcomes. It shifts the organization focus from simply counting activities to ensure every volunteer and program contributes to developing servant leaders. By aligning the four perspectives, UniY can manage performance with balance and purpose. The learning and growth perspective remains at the core because empowered volunteers drive every success. Through continuous feedback, training, and reflection, the BSc becomes a living framework that guides UniY toward sustained youth empowerment and lasting social change.